Alright, hello YouTube. This is the second 3D printer I've got. What you can see in the background up over here, it's my Folgertech Perusa i3, very cool printer. What you're seeing in front of you here is a, what is it? A BD TWOUP 3D printer, and it came assembled to me from the previous owner who didn't want it, and I can understand a lot of reasons why. So he sent it to me. I paid just over $200 for a quote assembled printer off of eBay, and that includes shipping. What you're seeing right now is mid upgrade, because when I got this, actually I even started printing the parts before I got it. The reviews on this, if you looked at the reviews on the 2UP and the 1UP, a lot of them say there's a lot of sag in the X direction, which doesn't surprise me at all, being it only supported on one side. You will get some wobble. I'm hoping that I can still get a decent printer out of this. But it's made out of melamine coated wood, which is not necessarily badness per se. It certainly won't crack like the acrylic that I slightly ran into with the Folgertech, but it separates, it splinters really easy. It can't really take much torque in any way, and a lot of the design was some of these larger bolts being threaded right into the wood, and that was it. Maybe it's just me, but I usually like to have nuts and bolts go together. I don't trust the thread of just wood. That being said, there are some things that are threaded right into the plastic, but that's a little bit better. It has better grip. Won't wear as easy as the wood. So I got this and I tore it down last night for the most part, and I had printed out a whole bag full of upgrade parts. And if you look on Thingiverse and different various forums and things online, everybody says print this upgrade, print that upgrade. I will say probably the two best upgrades to print, at least as I've come across them so far, is the X-Axis or X-Gantry. Reprint these two parts. There's a clip-on hot end or extruder holder. That's a pretty nice part. I like that design. And they also said you certainly need to upgrade the bearing holder for the Y-axis. I'm a little concerned already at this point that even after these upgrades, this isn't the it's not the smoothest. It's got some wobble, certainly a little wiggle, and if you look underneath, I suppose I can flip this up for you. If you look underneath, you'll see that these are the cutouts. You can see all the burnt wood from the laser cutting wood. These are the cutouts for two linear bearings, and that's really the only thing holding your Y-axis on. Now I know on a lot of other designs it's kind of a similar thing, 2 or 3 bearings, but they're riding, and the bearings themselves are attached to the sliding plate with a frame underneath. The way this printer works, it's a whole frame in the Y-axis that slides. There's nothing else. There's no support. The whole weight of this printer is supported via this rectangle here, or this portion. So, I don't know. It's kind of interesting. But for $200 plus some printing of parts, I'm probably doing okay, and I intend to upgrade this so it's at least acceptable. No heated bed. All just this kind of laser cut wood. All the white plastic pieces you see, that's all what I printed off on the Perusa i3. I do kind of like this Acme screw apparatus. I kind of wish I would see another one on the other side, but then where would you have the motor for your X-axis? So I think they really tried to condense this, and it's certainly a little desktop printer if you think about it, but there's a lot of flaws in the design, at least as it shipped. I think new these retailed for $279, or that was what the price was during their Kickstarter campaign. Lots of delays, lots of angry people that didn't get them, and I can understand it. And if I got this kit after paying close to $300, still had to assemble it myself, even though it's almost like a puzzle with these cutouts. I don't think I'd be really thrilled about it either. At the $200 price point, I think I can work with it. But I know that for $350 there's kits out there, because I built one, that are of much higher quality with a lot of the bells and whistles. So again, this is just to play with. But giving you guys a heads up as to what you'd be up against. print the upgrades if you haven't already. If you got one of these and know it's coming, print them, find a buddy, whatever. So far so good. I mean, I think it's due to shrinkage in my PLA that I made some of these out of, but quite tight tolerances. Things really have to slightly be forced in, but they fit nice and tight, and it's pretty good. I will say also that during the original build, if you look at the original instructions for this thing, it says to use super glue in places. Oh goodness, I'm not a fan of super glue to build a printer. I don't care if it's wood or otherwise. I know the Acme screw is super glued to the motor. That could be problematic should the motor burn up. I probably can separate that, and they do make some extensions then that also allow for a support up top so that there's less wiggle, even though there's really not much wiggle on this one. But, you know, rigidity, you're trying to avoid this. And printers aren't supposed to do that if they're supposed to be accurate. So this might be one that doesn't do the precision parts, I don't know.